So today we will study Big Five and the 30 facets of the Big Five within the five domains to know how to develop wisdom. And for this, we will search what a sage is, what a wise person is. And I would suggest first that a wise person is very low in neuroticism. That is, he or she is very emotionally stable. And almost I would say that they have no neuroticism. So the first thing one should do to develop wisdom is to reduce one's neuroticism. And we will take the 6 facets. So first facet, anxiety. One should stop worrying about things and try to be more relaxed. Second, hostility or anger. One should try to get less angry, and ideally the sage is not an angry person. Third, depression. One should start to feel comfortable with oneself and not let the feeling of sadness overwhelm us. Then comes self-consciousness. So I would say that the sage is not easily embarrassed, not easily intimidated, and we should strive towards this. Impulsiveness or immoderation. The sage will resist temptation, so one should strive to imitate him or her. And then comes vulnerability. It's the ability to remain calm under pressure and not to panic. And I would say that this is one of the main features of a wise person. So second comes, I would say, conscientiousness. I would suggest that the sage is a very conscientious person, that wisdom is mainly conscientiousness after being stable emotionality. So the sage will be first competent and possess self-efficacy. He won't misjudge situations, and he will complete tasks successfully. Secondly, as for orderliness, I'm not that sure for this one. I think a wise person is not necessarily one who is obsessed by order. So I would say he can be in the middle for this one. Then comes dutifulness, the ability to follow the rules. And in this case, also, I would not say that the wise person is necessarily very high on this, because following the rules per se doesn't mean much. Then comes achievement striving, the ability to work hard and not to just do enough to get by. And on this one, I would say that yes, he would score pretty high, but not that much either, because I don't think that wisdom consists in the virtue of working per se. Then comes self-discipline, and it seems obvious that wisdom is almost synonymous with self-discipline. So the sage should be very high on this facet. And then come deliberation or cautiousness, the fact of avoiding mistakes instead of rushing into things. And in this case also, I would say that the sage is very conscientious, because he's got this facet of deliberation and cautiousness. And third, I would say that the domain of agreeableness should be fairly developed for a wise person. So first, trust, the ability to trust others and not to distrust people in general. I would say the wise tends to trust others, although it wouldn't be that much because he's not gullible either. As for compliance or morality, the fact of cheating or, for example, using flattery to get ahead, I would say no. I would say he's honest, and he should be fairly high in compliance and morality. Now, for altruism, to make people feel welcome and not to despise others, I would say yes, he would be very altruistic, almost, although he's not at the maximum, because it's not necessary that, for example, he should be very welcoming to every person, and so on. Straightforwardness and cooperation. That means cooperating with others, trying to be harmonious with others, yes, I would say most of the time, but sometimes it is also necessary to be a little bit harsh and to be according not to the group, but according to one's own beliefs. So yes, straightforwardness, cooperation, yes, but not that high. Modesty, disliking being the center of attention and not thinking highly of oneself. Yes, the wise person will be a modest person, and it should be very high, although maybe not at the maximum. And tender-mindedness and sympathy, the ability, for example, to sympathize with the homeless and not to think in terms of revenge, for example. So in this case, yes, the wise will be high in sympathy, but in this case also I would say that the essence of wisdom being emotional stability and being self-discipline, it's not sympathy which is at the core either. And now for the two other domains, extraversion and openness. I would say extraversion is more or less completely neutral, and being an introvert or an extrovert doesn't change much to wisdom. And as for openness, I would say almost the same thing, but I would say that I couldn't imagine a wise person being totally not open. And so, according to the facets, we would see that it differs a little bit. For example, for ideas and intellect, the sage would not tend to avoid philosophical discussions because he has thought about the meaning of life and about the nature of reality by himself. So he has been thinking much. Now, as for values and liberalism, I would say that he would be more liberal in a very broad term, because the fact of believing in one true religion, for example, is rather a lack of reflection and a lack of thinking. Now, as for fantasy, aesthetics, deep feelings, and adventurousness, all that is about exploration and aesthetic, I would say it is rather neutral, although maybe it wouldn't be too low, because there is a sense of wonder for him. So in summary, to sum up, I would say that for one who wants to develop wisdom, the first thing to do is to reduce drastically neuroticism, to try to be emotionally stable by reducing anxiety, anger, trying to fight depression, trying to be less self-conscious, trying to fight impulsiveness and immoderation, and trying to remain calm under pressure to reduce vulnerability. Second would come conscientiousness. Not everything in conscientiousness, but surely the aspect of self-discipline, deliberation, and consciousness. And third, I would say agreeableness, and especially morality, altruism, straightforwardness, modesty, sympathy. As for the rest, I would say it's rather neutral. Maybe trying to be a little bit more open about new ideas, new perspective, new ways of thinking, and trying to think by oneself and knowing that one doesn't know much in life.